Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles. As you can see, I'm in the garage doing some work on my BMW R1250GS. Now in this video, I'm going to be moving the BMW nav bracket from the higher level position down onto a Touratech bracket I've got on my handlebars. I'm going to be doing a Roadbook rally, which is the adventure spec Kielder 500 organised by Rallymoto here in the UK, and for that I need to fit a Roadbook holder to my bike, and that's the most important thing to see when I'm riding. I am going to use my nav bracket, but I'm going to use it to hold a phone and use that as my ICO or distance measure for the rally. But in order to do that I need to move the BMW fitting from the high up position down to on the handlebars. As you can see, I might have already done that. So the wiring for the BMW cradle just goes down through these, well, slightly sharp-ended tie wraps and down and in there. And what I'm actually going to do is, it looks like it'd be fairly easy to relocate it from here down onto the bars down there. So I'm going to try and do that, to have that on the bars and then to be able to have my Roadbook up on this bracket, because that bracket looks quite sturdy and the Roadbook is quite heavy. I'm just going to snip these. I think that's it for the wire actually. That now seems to be loose all the way down. Yep, so I think I can route that now up onto the bars. So I'm just going to unbolt this bracket. So these are T20 screws. Just mind the nuts because they fall out the back. There we go. That's all 4 of those off. Okay, well that's there. So now the question is, can I thread that back round and underneath where it needs to go? I can try. There are actually some little washers in here. One came out with the bolt, the other 3 did not. So I'm just going to see if I can loosen those off, or if they are stuck. There we go. It's the sort of thing that I'll drop otherwise, and then it will make a short job much longer when I lose them on the garage floor. Like that. So I can see that wiring goes down around the back of here. You can see it round a little tie wrap down in there, so I only really need to get it past this shroud and round the back of the windscreen mechanism, which is probably harder than I think. Looks like this one might come off unless there's an easier way. Yeah, I might just try and take this front shroud off. Could do with the dust behind there anyway. Okay, so now that's through there. I'm actually not far off. I might even just post through if I put the screen on its highest setting. I'll fit through that gap. I bet it won't quite, you know. Thanks BMW. I'm sure it's done like this for a reason, but it means that I do need to find the other end of this cable, which I expect is on a connector somewhere. It might just be in here. If it is, then that makes life a little bit easier. Apologies, I'm not showing you all of this. It's just I kind of need a camera above it, and there isn't really anywhere good to put one, so you're just going to have to bear with me while I snip away in here. Okay, so here we have the connector, I think. Or at least we have 2. I'm guessing one end of this, you can quite see it on there, it looks like it goes to 2 cables. One I'm guessing goes to the controller on the handlebars, and the other one must be the power. But, can you just get that off? Oh, no, that one's just a blanking plug, so it ain't that one. That one goes nowhere. So the only one I have is actually this cable here. And this one's a bugger to get off. There we go. Right then. So even that, BMW in their infinite wisdom have got a connector on the end of the GPS cable which doesn't fit through the gap where they've run it, which is properly annoying, and it's actually through the frame for the windscreen mount, which is all part of this, so it doesn't even come apart easily. That's brilliant, guys. Thank you. Wonder if I can just get the connectors out of it, or whether I just have to cut the wire, but it seems like a bit of an overkill just to get a connector out. If there's any other way, if I move the windscreen down. Oh, there we go, got it out. All right, I take that back. My bad. Okay, so now I've all got that out. That is pretty much ideal. So I think I'm now going to mount it and then work out that's going to go on here on my bar. And then, yeah, I can work out where the cable routing goes so it goes in with the other cables that go down and back onto the connector that's just inside there. Okay, so off camera, I've just fitted that back together around my Touratech bar. So I just need to fit that back into here. Just putting a little bit of thread lock on these. I don't expect they'll come out, but you never know. And it would be a really annoying bolt to lose. I'm actually going to tighten up these to get that to grip the bar, so I can still wiggle it around a bit until it's fixed. Cool, so that's on there. Now there's the switch at the back which you need to be able to get to. You need to be able to get the keys in. So as long as there's clearance for that, which there is, that can go to there. Move it across a bit. So it's good probably to have it central, right? But you just need to make sure that I can still move that lever in and out. So the next thing to do is, I think, is just to tidy up this wire. I'll probably bring that in maybe under the bars, or maybe around the outside of the bars around here, through that loop and then back down onto the loom down there. I think through there might be a tidy route for it. Maybe even underneath actually, all the way, and then it's just hidden. Could have one tie wrap on the side there, and then the rest can just come down here and then onto the clip. Yeah, I think that'll do. Do expect I'm still going to have the same problem getting that top bolt in to secure the top panel, but I managed before. If I just have to take off the tie wraps and the bar, then I will. That's one. Yeah, definitely needs to come through the front of here. Again, sorry about this, you probably can't see it on the camera, but there's some little rubber things a bit like this all the way down the brake line, so I'm just going to try and get one of them off and stick it behind that. The only thing is that does need to move quite a lot when that's open all the way like that. But I suppose there's no other way for it, and actually it's not too bad. It's not stressed when it's full lock that way. It's only really making sure I have enough in there. I suppose the other thing is I could actually just bring it around the back. That's a better idea. Just need to make sure it's not squashed when it's back like that. Yeah, that's a lot better. There's no stress on the cable when it's in that position, and then it's not getting pulled around by the forks. So yeah, that's definitely the better spot for it. And then I can just wind it around the outside and well, go back through that hole. No, it won't. But I can just tie it on in here, I think, quite easily. So I'm just going to put one tie wrap round here, because there's actually a hole where one of the BMW cable runs goes. If I can get it through that, maybe not. There we go. That's quite tidy. I know you didn't really get to see any of that, but if you can see in there, that white connector, that's the GPS connector down there. And if I bring it round this side, again, you can't really see it, but I've basically tie wrapped it on. Where have I tie wrapped it on? I've tie wrapped it on through here, which is almost impossible to see. There is a little hole in there. Up here, it's this wire here, with the block on it. If I bring that in, this is, you can see what the problem was with the filming, is there's just nowhere really to put a camera. So it's this wire here, which goes down onto that white block. I've done the routing around the back here, through that little tie wrap there, which goes onto the same gland with the other one, up and round the back, and from there it just comes up and onto the nav cradle. Now, the reason I've done that is actually so when I turn it, it's that does look a little bit untidy, I agree, but it's not really under much stress even on lock, full lock that way. And the other alternative was to route it through and round the other side of the forks, but then you need to have enough clearance to get around the back of that and then come back in, while at the same time being able to cope with it coming all the way back there, which wasn't ideal either. So I think this is the lesser of two evils, and I think it looks okay. So that's it. That is my video showing you how to move the nav bracket on a BMW R1250GS from the high level mounting position down onto a bar on the handlebars. So mine's on my Touratech bar that I actually installed originally for my Digital Roadbook for doing the Icebreaker Challenge here in the UK in the winter of 22-23. Hope that's been interesting and useful. If it has, please check out my other content and maybe I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.